Assalamu alaikum students. Hope everybody is good. So let's begin with the chapter. But before that, students, just try to log in to the OLE account. Students, everybody's account has been created. Okay, so just try to do more and more practice in that OLE. Okay, because there is your syllabus is new. Okay, and each and every question is there in the OLE for practice. Okay, so please just go through that questions. Okay, and do more and more practice, because as long as you are not practicing, you are not going to understand things in a proper way, because it's a technical subject and technical terms you have to learn more and more, so just to remember the terms easily. Okay, so practice makes a person better, so just try to have more and more practice. Okay? Now we'll begin with the chapter number 1, basics of information technology. In last lecture, students, we have completed the topic internet, just the definition of the internet. Okay, and in that what we have seen, student, that internet is nothing but it is the network of networks. Yes. Then what? It is also called as what? Interconnected networks. Interconnected networks. Yes. And what it is, students? It is formed with the very basic protocol suite, that is the TCP/IP. Without this, there is no imagination of internet. Okay, and internet is the highway of to convey or to communicate the information from one place to another. So this we all had seen this in the last lecture. Now we'll move on to the history of internet, that how the internet has evolved or emerged. History of internet. Okay. In history of internet, students, we'll see the different protocols which has been emerged. Okay, why there was a need to develop a network. Okay, so the history of the internet has its origin in the efforts to build an interconnected computer networks that arose from research and development in the US, that is the United States, and involved international collaborations like with the United Kingdom. So there was a research, okay, because of the research and development phase, okay, there was an effort to build something which is connected, to be known as that is the interconnected computer networks. Okay, students. So here the first workable prototype of the internet came into the late 1960s with the creation of ARPANET. Very important. The first workable prototype. As I've said, students, the prototype is very much necessary for the connection, like for internet TCP/IP is there. Okay, so the very first workable prototype of the internet came in the late 1960s. 1960s with the creation of the ARPANET. ARPANET. What is ARPANET, students? ARPANET stands for Advanced Research Projects Agency Network. Net for network. Advanced Research Project Agency Network. Okay, students. So ARPANET. The very first network is what your ARPANET. Before internet was the ARPANET, student. Now ARPANET originally funded by the US Department, okay, of Defense. Because in the defense, students there means the people there, these students, they just wanted to, they were doing some research and they just wanted to have something which is connected so that communication is possible at the fastest speed. Okay, the connection should be there. So this the ARPANET, the Advanced Research Project Agency Network. Okay, so yeah, it is originally funded by the US Department of Defense. ARPANET used packet switching to allow multiple computers to communicate to a single network. Here what happens? It allows multiple network or the computers network or multiple computers. Multiple computers to connect. On a single network. Okay, this is students, it is a single network on which multiple computers are connected in ARPANET. Okay, this is the first, or we can say this was the first network which has been developed by the US Defense Agency. Okay, so the technology continued to grow in 1970s after scientists Robert Kahn and Winthrop Cerf developed transmission control protocol and internet protocol, that is TCP/IP, students. Your TCP/IP makes your internet. Okay, so the technology continued to grow in 1970s. What in 1970s? What happened? The scientists. Okay, and their name was Robert Kahn. Okay, not Khan. Kahn. And Winthrop Cerf. What they did, they developed the TCP/IP. They developed TCP/IP. That is the Transmission Control Protocol and Internet Protocol. Transmission Control Protocol and the Internet Protocol. Okay, these two protocols together, they together makes your internet. Okay, so here what happens, students? A communication model that sets standards for how data could be transmitted between multiple networks. Okay, so earlier we have seen that ARPANET was meant for the single network. Okay, multiple computers, they were connected together to a single network. But here what happened? This TCP/IP, there is a communication model It sets the standard for how data could be transmitted between multiple networks. Transmitted between multiple networks. Yes. So here what happens, students? ARPANET adopted TCP/IP on January 1. ARPANET adopted TCP/IP, that is the Transmission Control Protocol and Internet Protocol, on January 1, 1983. 1983. So here what happens, students? And from their researchers began to assemble the network of networks. Afterward, when ARPANET adopted TCP/IP on January 1, 1983, from there, researchers began to assemble the network of networks. Network of networks. Assembling of network of networks took place, and that became the modern internet. Okay, this is your network of network is what, students? The modern internet which we are using is the modern internet. Okay, so the online world then took a more recognizable form in 1990, when computer scientist Tim Berners-Lee invented the World Wide Web. Okay, you have to remember this, that in 1990, students, what happened? The computer scientist Tim Berners-Lee. Tim Berners-Lee invented the World Wide Web, that is WWW. Yes, students, you all are aware of this WWW. So in this way, the development, or we can see the emergence of the internet has took place. Okay, from ARPANET to WWW. Okay, so this is the history of internet, because there was a need of connection, because just a single line of communication cannot help you. So there was a need that things should be connected. So here we'll just see in detail, students, what happened. Here what happened, students, that the ARPANET in early 1960s, or the late 1960s, not the early 1960s, with the creation of ARPANET, what happened here? That communication of multiple computers on a single network. Okay, on a single network, you have to remember this, student, single network, ARPANET. Then what happened? In 1970s, the scientist Robert, just right, TCP/IP. TCP/IP in 1970s, developed by Robert Kahn and Clinton Sir. Okay, so here what happens? The data could be transferred, data communication we can say, between multiple networks students. Yes, multiple networks. ARPANET single network, TCP/IP multiple networks. Okay, then what happened? On January 1, ARPANET adopted TCP/IP 1983. Okay, in 1983, okay, that is the January 1. ARPANET adopted TCP/IP. And then what happened, students? It made the network of networks. Network of networks has emerged. Okay. Then finally, what happens, students? In 1990, what happened? Scientist Tim Berners-Lee invented World Wide Web, which we are using. Okay, that is the modern internet. Now we are using the World Wide Web, WWW. So this is the history of the internet, students. Hope you've understood this also, where there was a need of the network, and because of that research and development agency, the ARPANET, the internet has evolved, and the agency which funded this was the US, along with the collaboration with different other international countries like UK and so many other countries. So this is what it, and the first network was the ARPANET, not the internet, network, ARPANET. Okay, so through ARPANET we went to WWW, that is the World Wide Web. Okay, and the network of networks has evolved. So hope you've understood this. So inshallah in next lecture we'll continue with the protocols. So until then, stay safe, stay blessed, stay healthy. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.